I think I found the clip here. I won't play the whole thing, but have a good night, Nokian.
Night,
Have a good night.
Nokian.
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I just waited for the mailman to show up so I could get my paper check in the mail that I've been waiting for weeks. So I could come to the bank and deposit it. But because I have negative money in my account, I'm only going to get like a little bit of it because like I can only access $100 for the first day. So I'm probably going to have like $60 today. I haven't gone grocery shopping in probably a month. We have like no food to eat for dinner except for like mac and cheese and ramen. I have $300 electric bill that's overdue. My phone bill's overdue. I just gave my husband my last paycheck from last week so we could pay the mortgage 2 weeks late. And in 10 days or 11 days, the mortgage for next month is due. So it's like this paycheck isn't even like, why do I even have it? Like they might as well take my paycheck and just send it to all my bills. Like what's the point in me even getting my paycheck? It's like annoying. Like I'm not going to see it anyway. Not only that, but in like 3 weeks, I have to pay for summer camp because school's almost over. So it's like, that's another $700-800 that I have to come up with to pay for summer camp. And if I don't pay for summer camp, guess who can't work because their kid is going to be at home with them? Me. So obviously that's going to be like a major to do. Like I can't not pay summer camp. Not only do I have a personal loan and medical bills up the wazoo, like literally I have like a bill for like $3,000 from the hospital. I have like an $8,000 personal loan that was a consolidation loan from like a bunch of loans that I had.
I think we get the point.
I feel you, girl.
Someone...
It's disappointing. Like we literally like at my work, we joke because I'm like, oh, it's payday. You see money in your account for about 5 minutes until you like literally disperse it to everywhere it needs to go. And you're like, and I'm broke again. Super exciting.
It's so freaking annoying. Like I remember I paid some obscene amount to CRA, like $27,000. And then they sent me another invoice for $7,000, and I called my accountant. I'm like, "What the f? Like you told me to pay 27 grand, and now they're hitting me with another 7 grand." And then the accountant starts talking in accountant speak. I'm like, "You know what? I'll pay you an extra 7 grand. Just shut up. I'll pay it, but I'm closing the company down. I refuse to do this. I'm gonna go to get a government job."
No. I'm just gonna say, okay, I will not divulge where I work, but I work for the government. I'm telling you, I could not live on my own. If I lived in a house by myself, in an apartment by myself, shut up, you. An apartment by myself, I would have to sell my vehicle, and I would literally be living on frickin' Mr. Noodle or some shit like that. Like there's, with the cost of living that there is, especially in Manitoba, it's insane. And I know the cost of living in other provinces is pretty high too, but then with the wage and stuff like that, Manitoba is absolutely horrible. And I couldn't. I literally couldn't. And it's really sad when you work for a government job and you're like, I couldn't even live on my own. I couldn't do it.
Good. You should all live in squalor.
Shut up, God. He's got such a thing with like government. He's always like, you're the enemy. Just like randomly through the day. Like, I hate you. Like, why? You work for the enemy.
You are the enemy.
You are the enemy. Yeah. But like literally, it's so many people be like, oh, you have a government job, you have this, you have that. Oh my God, you're so lucky. Yes, we have the benefits are decent. And yes, there's a pension. But when you actually think of the actual wage that you make, the amount that you're taxed, and then the cost of living.
Well,
I don't know how people on minimum wage do it.
I was going to go back to what I said. So the prime issue is the banking system, because we're in debt. So we're paying debt, paying interest on the debt. That's like the main issue. The other issue is that the bureaucracy. So I'm very sorry, Kim. I know you work for the government, but the bureaucracy is so big now that for every 3 private sector workers, they're paying for 1 public sector worker. That would be like every family has 1 person at home that they have to take care of that's infirm.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you seen that statistic that like are in the first time in like, I can't remember how many years, but Canada's private businesses have closed down.
What
Like,
do you
have
mean?
actually gone down. We've actually lost more jobs, but the government added. Like, when our job numbers come out and they're like, "Look at the job numbers," like, yeah, you added like 40,000 people to the
Well,
government
no,
payroll.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to use the R word, but this is retarded. Like if you own a private
Yes.
company and like you you can't spend money and hire people and be like, oh, we made a profit. Like you can't do that because the spending of money is a loss. But in government, you can do that. You spend taxpayer money. Essentially, taxpayers are idiot investors who don't ask any questions. That's what a government is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like hearing that girl complain and that I've seen tons of these videos where people are making those same claims that I'm having to work 2 jobs and you know, I can't even make it. I can't do it. I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest. What's the point? That question right there is the death of a country.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, then when you start giving their land that they've literally pay taxes to and that they feel like they own, you start saying, "Hey, guess what, guys? You don't actually own this." What is that doing to Canada? Are you just going to go back and be like, oopsie, you don't
What's
own
the
this
point?
land? Yeah.
What's the point? I don't know. I hate to see where this is going, where this will continue to go, and as people become more and more desperate, this is why I try to focus on getting like where people are, the middle of the road kind of person, and really try to kind of focus on that. Yeah, I get into fights with those right wing guys that are like, Canada was made for the old stock Canadians. It's like, yeah, well, those same old stock Canadians that have the same melanin deficiency that you have, they sold you out. They sold your country out. So shut the fuck up with this like old stock Canadian crap. And the same thing from the left. Like it's just
You know what I always say to people when the immigration is out of control. Nobody will deny that, but I always say like the people that implemented this immigration policy, they're Canadians. Pierre Trudeau, for
Right.
example, Lester Pearson, Mulrooney. This is nonpartisan, bipartisan, and they're all old school Canadians. This is maybe the CCP now is interfering, but this was a self-inflicted wound.
yeah. And and I think conservatives really need to wake up that we are now operating irreconcilable differences where the conservative right, like the actual base of the conservative right, is talking. There's discussions of repealing gay rights, whatever the hell that. Well, we could get it. We don't have to get into the discussion of rights right now. We could do that another time. But repealing gay rights, and how many other litany of issues, the whole abortion discussion. No one in the CPC, in the conservative movement, is talking about that, but the left is talking about abortion up into including birth. They're talking about medically, chemically castrating children. They're talking about universal basic income. Give up.
What I'm
Give up.
hearing is
Let the
population
government.
control. Oh, don't forget about the maid. So if you think about all those things that you just mentioned, include maid into there, I'm hearing a whole hell of a lot of population control personally, but that could
You
just be
know,
my tinfoil hat.
here's my theory. I keep hammering on the bankers, but they control all the wealth anyway. The bankers they're controlling the left, so the left is coming out and saying all this nonsense about anti-vaxxers and killing babies up until conception. Sorry, birth. And then the right is not very sophisticated and they're just reacting to the left. They're
Mhm.
like, oh no, the left is crazy. We got all these communists. We got to have remigration and we got to kill all these Jews. And well, maybe they're not saying that, but Jews run,
No, that's the
they
left.
run the banking system.
Clip it.
So,
Clip it. No.
yeah. Freudian slip.
Yeah.
That was Peyman's personal opinion.
And I
See?
think because people notice, they recognize that something's wrong, and they're looking for something, whether it is, it's the juice, whether it's whatever issue. I think because people recognize that there is something wrong, something is broken. um I was having a discussion with a lady, and she had brought up, well, she said, like, I don't want to be racist, I'm not racist, but I don't like what's happening, I don't
But
like seeing these people, I don't like seeing it. And I had responded to that, or to that, with, I don't think it's a race issue. I think it has more to do that you are witnessing your culture being destroyed in front of your eyes. It's not race,
yeah.
it's a cultural death, and that's what's bothersome.
Well, and whose fault is that? It's not the person whose skin color is whatever. It's what the government is allowing. Like literally having the
We No, I'm gonna stop you there. We allow it. If Canadians did not allow this, this is why we have those dumb laws that, you can't ride a moose or whatever, you can't have a pie cooling on your windowsill on Sunday, is because at some point, culturally, we found that important enough to make a law to enforce it. And it's
I
not.
think there's too many people who do not stand up to the government the way that they should, or the way that they used to. And I think the first time for me personally that I've seen somebody stand up to the government in Canada anyway would have been the Freedom Convoy.
Mm.
Too many people, they just hear what whoever it is that's leading in the government at that moment, especially if it's the whatever they've been fed the Kool-Aid for.
Shot collar.
They they just they go along. You totally distract me. I don't even remember what I was saying there. You ruined it.
Freedom Convoy, not enough people stood up. It was the only time they stood up.
Yeah, I think too many people now, they just, okay, this is what the government is saying. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be a sheep and just follow it. You don't see them actually thinking that, hey, the government works for me. They should be doing
I
what
don't
I
agree with
want them
that.
to do. How do you not agree with that?
I don't.
How?
Look at how the left responds. I think,
The left is
have
in
you ever had
charge.
Russell the Canadian conservative on?
No.
Please, if you ever
You
have the
should. Good
opportunity,
guy.
he's every time I sit and talk with him, yeah, the Canadian Russell the Canadian conservative. Or I think it's Canadian con, but
I
um
think so, yeah.
every time I sit and talk with him, he always makes me think deeper. And the question that he had proposed is the left in or is the right engaging in politics, or playing, or engaging in democracy, or playing democracy? The left is engaged in democracy. They will petition people. They will make their voices heard, and they have no problem whether they're vandalizing something. They will make the government bend to what they want. They are fighting for their rights. Whatever that right is, whether it's trans rights or, this human right, they are fighting for it. The right isn't. The right isn't.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
The
You
left is
might be
engaging in democracy. The right is playing democracy.
okay. I might actually agree with that. Especially when I
No.
think about how things are playing out in the United States right now, when you think about it. When you think about the left, how they're attacking Trump and everything else that's been going on. And the people on the right, they've kind of been holding their head high, but they haven't been, not too much fighting back.
You know
I
what?
don't
I
mean
actually
violence, but
I would say that the Trump administration is one case where the one situation where the conservatives or the right has finally started to fight back. Like they took out USAID.
oof.
They completely neutered the left wing media. Donald Trump is coming out swinging on Truth Social and causing the left to go insane. So Donald Trump is using the left tactics. Now, after the Epstein situation, I think Trump just went off the rails, and the whole thing is spiraling out of control. But there was a glimmer of hope there on the right.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, you're
so,
not wrong. Especially after the whole Charlie Kirk thing, absolutely.
Yeah,
That is the
things
first time you've
escalated.
heard a
Yeah.
lot of people on the right that have been standing up and they're like, we're not standing for this anymore. And yeah, 100%.
yeah,
I
no,
would
I
agree
think
with that.
that was the rights. Like, look at, you hear anyone talking outside of just this being brought up now? You see anyone talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and how these people need to be held accountable? Hear anyone? No one.
Stephen
No
Kerwin.
one. Maybe.
What do you mean,
But
maybe like all the time?
do you see it in the media? Do you hear
No.
anyone talking about the assassination and what a disgusting thing it was? They talked about George Floyd for fucking damn near 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. That guy's still in jail. Is Officer Sicklick?
Oh, Chauvin.
Chauvin, sorry, Officer Chauvin. He's still in jail. That guy died of an overdose. And I'm like, Trump, you
Right?
got to pardon this guy. He died of an overdose. He was a criminal who held a knife to a pregnant woman's belly.
It was a
And he
gun.
was, oh, was it a gun? I guess
Gun.
that's worse.
Yeah.
And they canonize this. The whole, I don't even want. I'm gonna get angry. I want to go back to one thing you said, Tyler. As like an immigrant, an outsider's view, I noticed that the West in Canada, people were committing cultural suicide. It was like cultural harikari, where they're saying, "Oh, Canada doesn't have a culture," and I saw all these Canadians rushing to try to come up with a reason why Canada doesn't have a culture. Oh, Italy has pasta. We don't have our own food, so we don't have a culture. England has old homes. We don't have old homes, so we don't have a culture. Fuck yeah, Canada has a culture. Like, look what's happening with these Calistanis that are driving trucks without the necessary training. That's a boring example, but that's a form of culture. Canada totally has a culture. They're just trying to destroy the culture.